In this video, I'm going to show you how we made the oil separator. The separator that's going to separate our oil from the water. And we'll be focusing mainly on the connections, so you get an idea on how you can make your own with whatever you've got available, because, well, there's 1,000 ways we could put this together. And yours doesn't necessarily need to be exactly like mine. You might even have a better idea. And if you do, let me know in the comments so the community can read them comments, that valuable information, and we can all learn from it together. So what you're going to need is some kind of a bottle or drum. I find these bottles are really good because, well, they got a spout on the bottom and they're dead cheap. This is an 8-litre container of bottled water, and it cost me like €1.30. I drank the water as well, not to be wasteful. Now, the most tricky part of this build is going to be the little connections we have at the bottom. So I'm going to bring you in close and I'm going to give you a quick overview of what you're going to need. So this will be the most complicated part of the build, this little connection here. We see we've got just a tap from an irrigation system that we'll use to tap off the water. See-through pipe, so we can observe when the oil is coming down and stop the flow before we lose our oil. And this is just a hose pipe connection that'll screw on to a tap outside. You can see we've put a little rubber washer on there. On our bottle top, we're going to cut a hole through the center, slide this through, and then we've got a nut that fits perfectly, and we can get a really nice, tight, water-sealed connection. So we need to cut a hole into our top. Make sure that it's in the center so you have enough room to screw that on, and really take your time to get it right. Now, a drill would have been a lot better. There we are. Whew. That was a lot of work. So we're gonna get that in there. Get our washer in. And then our nut. Like that. That's it. Nice and tight as you can make it. And that's what we should end up with, look. Now we're going to screw that to our bottle. So this is just a stick of silicone glue from a hot glue gun. And I'm just going to stick it all around this bottom. And then I'm going to heat this up. Oosh, just burnt my finger. This glue melts really quick. Get that off before I burn myself again. And then I'm just gonna shove that in there like that. Perfect. Lovely jubbly. So that's the hardest, I think, most complicated part of our build done. Getting a nice secure connection from our bottle to our hose pipe end bit. Next we're going to do is connect our white tube to the tap end. To make the connection easier, we can just heat this over our gas flame or some really hot water, and it is going to slip on a lot easier. Just be careful, you don't want to be burning in the plastic, so we're just doing it tenderly. That's it. And now this should just slip on a lot easier. Oh, it's well soft now. Look at that. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Now if you wanted to, you could tighten some wire around here or one of those tightening rings to make sure that this doesn't come off. But this ain't coming off, not with just the pressure that's going to be in that 8-litre tub. But if you're a little bit sketchy on it, maybe your fit isn't as tight, just tighten a ring around there. Okay, let's just get rid of that handle. That's it. So that connection is basically the hardest part of this whole apparatus. So what I'm going to do next is wrap this with some plastic netting, and then I can use the netting to tie my bottle to a frame. But from here you can do whatever you like. We just need something that's going to basically hold the weight of this while we separate our oil. So I've basically made this frame for that purpose. I've re-utilised an old bit of frame that I had for a dragon fruit that I made and I never used it. And basically, as you can see, it's just a square frame that I'm gonna hang this bottle from. You can use anything, like I says, anything you've got, some old shelves that you could maybe reutilise. You could even hang this against the wall if you've got a little area in your garage. Because the plan is I'm gonna wrap my bottle around this and kind of make a stocking. We'll taper it off at the bottom here so it's holding the weight like this. And then we'll fix this to our frame like that. So you can see we're just tapering it around. Same again. Put a triangle. Then we sew it up. That's it. One side left. Very good. So now you see that we've got it tapering in nicely. I can chop that back a little. Like that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna fix this to my frame. I'm gonna pull this out. I'm just gonna staple it in, a few staples. I'm putting it onto a frame. You could easily screw this into the wall, or you could have a couple of hooks on the wall. When it comes to that time of the year you want to make your oil, you could just hook it there and it'll do the same thing. Let's feed our bottle through. Oh, wonderful. Oh, that's really, I love it. Really happy with that. I wanted something simple, not too big and bulky that I can just throw in a corner in my storeroom until next year when it's time for making more oil. I'm going to finish the other one quickly now and then we'll fill it with water, see how it takes it. I'm just going to cut a little strip from the centre so we can actually see a little more clearly what's going on, almost like an indicator. So we're finished. I'm going to give this a fill up with water now, see how it reacts to the weight. But basically, I think you get the gist on how it works and how you could build something similar for your needs. Guys, make sure you hit that like button so you're letting YouTube know that you dig this content, and hit the subscribe if you haven't done so already, and the bell notification so you don't miss future uploads. If you want to support the channel further in the future, channel memberships will be coming out for those who are interested in the perks involved with that. Guys, I'll see you next time. We've got a leak coming out of this one. It appears that I might have nicked the plastic when I was putting it together. It's leaking around here, which is a huge pain in the backside. It means I have to go out and buy another bottle. That's really frustrating. Really frustrating. But the frame is holding the bottles really nicely, so that's what I was mainly concerned about. Pretty good.